Hey, hi, how's it going? You're probably wondering, Robbie, why are you wearing the exact same outfit you wore yesterday? To that I say, because it's not yesterday, it is still today. It's the same day, and I'm back out here this evening and I'm gonna do some work. We're doing laundry inside the house right now. We brought our washer and dryer. We got rid of this washer and dryer. So we now have a total of 4 appliances for washers and dryers. 2 of each. It's fabulous. This is our porch washer dryer, and then we have an inside washer and dryer. I'm gonna do some work today inside the house. Today, as if I didn't just do a whole bunch of work. Yesterday, if you saw, I did a bunch of work inside. Let me show you what we did. So yesterday for you, today for me, we got the flooring up in here. This was easy. This was fabulous. I loved this project. Good project. Then Jeff came and he got the flooring up in here, and we started to get the flooring up in here, and we found the termites. I don't remember if I told you this or not, but Hunter's Pest Control, Hunter Services, they were already planning on coming out. They were planning to do a follow-up, I guess on the 28th. And so they were already planning on being out here. I just happened to dig into the floor and I found more termites. So they're going to come back out here. I told them that they can't come on the 28th because the 28th we are getting trees removed in they're the ones on the side of the house, and I'm afraid that they'll fall in the house if I have somebody inside the house. So I told them no. We're trying to figure out another day. I told them literally they could have any other day, any other time, and they can come out here. They'll be out here, and they're gonna do another treatment, and they're going to, now that I got the flooring open, which they're very happy that I have the flooring open, because last time I made them crawl under the house, they are going to be able to do a much more like localized treatment, which they treated underneath the house last time, and they treated the perimeter, and they treated extra around the perimeter. But now they're going to do an even more focused treatment. But I'm gonna remove some more flooring in here. I brought my speaker because you don't need to hear me hooting and hollering with the hacksaw and the crowbar in here. And I'm just gonna keep lifting up some flooring. So my goal, I think, is just gonna be getting rid of this bit of flooring that's in here. I'm gonna get this done, and then I wanna end the day with doing some planting, because planting brings me joy and termites make me sad. So I would like to, kind of where this board is, we'll just keep going down and kind of go from there. So I'm gonna throw on my tunes real quick. I listen to sad girl music. Motivates me. And I guess I'm just gonna get to work. I'm so tired. I took a little cat nap. It didn't do anything. Back to work we go. It's a new day for you. Hope you slept well. Okay, hi. I don't know what it is, but throwing some music on, some sad girl music just makes me so happy. I listened to some Olivia Dean. Oh, listen to Olivia Dean if you don't know who she is. All of it. It's all good. Listen to some Ariana Grande. Listen to some Coldplay. Listen to some Lana Del Rey. Listen to all of these just like low vibe songs that I just get lost in. Anywho, let me show you what we did. I'm super dry. So, super fabulous. Got the flooring up in here for the most part. I didn't keep going that way, mainly because I just didn't want to. So there's that. Eventually, I think this whole wall is going to come down. It would be nice if we could save this lumber because this is really, really beautiful lumber. So when it does come down, I would like to save all of this. I mean, we don't have to save like the pieces that are there in the middle, which go at a angle down, by the way. So I would like to save these. They're like real 2x4s almost. They're really, really nice pieces of wood and they're very straight. But it's not a load-bearing wall, so we can remove it, and we're going to remove this. Bathroom might get relocated elsewhere. That's going to be at the discretion of the, what are they called, designers. And then, so got the flooring up, found more termites coming through a little tiny pinhole right there. So I will make sure I let pest control know that when they come to do like a deep treatment. I think I'm going to tell them, like, when they get here, like, we can open all of this up. Like, all of these boards can go. Because I think I'm going to have to replace that joist anyways. And plus, they're talking about wanting to do like a roll-in shower. So like some of the joists have to get like moved anyways. Is it called a roll-in shower? It's not a roll-in shower. No step shower? That sounds better. Okay, so anyways. And then I took a little breaky break and worked on getting some of the nails from the lath and plaster. Look how many holes there are. Hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of nails. Which makes sense. Each and every single one of these has a nail. So there were a lot of nails in here, but I got all of this wall done except for up here where I couldn't reach, obviously, and I wasn't gonna get on a ladder this evening. So we got that done, and then what was driving me crazy is like there was giant clumps of like plaster in the crevices, creases, cracks. I pulled all that out because that was really bothering me, so I just dumped it on the ground, left all the nails on the ground. I will let you know I am up on my tetanus shot, so is Brent. We're golden here. I will get all of those cleaned up tomorrow. Oh, hey, jazz hands. So I have some light left. I thought I saw Freya. It was a shadow. I have some light left in the day. I have probably about an hour. Let's go do a little bit of planting. Planting makes me happy. I'm feeling very good. I wish that I had enough daylight all the time, and I wish that it was just a little tiny bit cooler. If it was a little tiny bit cooler, I could go till like midnight, and it would be no problemo. You couldn't see. I might not be able to see, but I would. I would go till midnight. Also, I do have work first thing in the morning, so I probably should not stay up till midnight. Oh my gosh, I just came out here to throw the rest of the lumber away. That I had ripped up, and it is so much cooler outside, probably because I'm a little bit wet, but it is nice and cool. There's no breeze, but I don't even think it's nice and cool. Let's check that. Yeah, nice and cool. It's 90 degrees, 32 Celsius. Nice and cool. Nice cool evening. We're gonna get 3 plants planted, and then I'm gonna go in and eat pizza, and there's nothing you can do about it. Let me show you these little baby angels. I feel like I had a Red Bull. I didn't. You might think I did. I didn't. I just feel very happy. I don't know. Don't be a buzzkill, okay? Right here, we've got a Bluebeard. So excited. I love Bluebeard. I had it in multiple colors at the other house. This one is the Sapphire Surf Bluebeard. It's gonna get 2 feet tall, 3 feet wide, and they bloom super late in the summer, and they can handle full sun. Hardy down to zone 5 and heat zone 9. So that's fabulous. And I'm going to make all of you start learning your heat zone. Remember, we talked about that. I'll put a link to it in the description down below. Your heat zone tells you a certain amount of days above 89 degrees Fahrenheit. We'll put what that is, Celsius. Basically the temperature we're at right now. Because after that, is when plants really start to struggle after 89 degrees. And so that's why they put that heat zone cap at that. So any days above that puts you in higher heat zone. It makes plants really just struggle, honestly, to stay alive above 89 degrees. And so welcome to where I live, where we do have a good amount of them. I think I'm heat zone 8. Eight. Nope. I think that I'm heat zone 8. I'm pretty sure I'm heat zone 8. It would be nice if they would like update it. I think it's been like 30 years or something like that. So it would be cool if they did, but they haven't. Learn your heat zone. That's going to tell you hot plants, like how they do in hot, in warm, versus the USDA growing zone only tells you the cold. So that kind of gives you upper and lower. It's a good thing to know both. And first editions, I'm very proud of them because they put both on the plant tag. Nobody is doing that. I need everybody else to step it up. Nobody that I know is doing it. Southern editions might be doing it, but I can't find a single Southern edition plant. First editions is doing it though. Southern edition? Southern edition. It's not Southern edition. That doesn't sound right. We're moving on. This right here is a coral berry. This is actually a native to where I am. Coral berries, these are great. Birds absolutely love them. This is what our hard water does. It's very harsh. So that's all hard water because everybody's been getting overhead watering. 2.5 feet tall by 2.5 feet to 3 feet wide, and it's eventually going to have these beautiful little purple berries on it, which I'm very, very excited about. As long as the birds don't get to it, I'll get to enjoy them. That'll happen sometime this fall. Growing zones 4 through 9, heat zone 9, and this one does say that it is deer resistant, good for cutting also, so that's kind of fun. And look how many berries there are. We're talking lots of berries, so this should be very happy. This is also full sun. This is also deciduous too, so next year it won't have any of these hard water spots, and the leaves will be kind of like a deep green color. They're not super glossy. I've never noticed glossy leaves. I just noticed kind of like a dark green color. She's letting me know there's pizza. She would like some. Last thing we're going to plant is this cotoneaster. I'm very excited about this cotoneaster. This is Autumn Inferno, and I'm very excited about the fall color. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? We need some fall color over there. This is going to get 5 to 6 feet tall and 4 to 5 feet wide, and hardy in zones 5 through 7, heat zone 7. So this is a maybe plant for me, but I do know cotoneaster need full sun. The great thing about cotoneaster is so it's going to get this fall color, and then it's also going to get red berries on it. So I'm just really excited about it. And it does say drought tolerant, deer resistant, but I do believe that the birds really like the berries. You can see the berries right there. And we do need to remember too that deer resistant doesn't mean deer proof. It just means that if there's nothing else around, this will be their last choice. Isn't that just fabulous? What a great way to end the day. Oh, this was a very, very productive day on my end. I don't think it looked as productive on your end. But yesterday and today happened today. So that's productive for me. I'm very excited. These two will just be kind of low growing. Eventually the lemon cypress is going to fill in kind of pyramidal shape. And then this birch tree is going to get here. So there'll be little windows. Like these should eventually all touch. I could go in with maybe some like ground low growing things in there, like maybe I could do like some hostas tucked in there or something like that. That'd be kind of pretty, like hidden. Eventually we will be doing all of the fences. Right now it's just like this, like, I don't know, livestock wire or something down here, and then barbed wire on the top. So this is our fence. It's beautiful. It's very classy, but it does feel nice to start putting a garden together. I think what I want to do, because the vegetable garden area, which is where my bathtub is, this entire area is so huge. I do want to line, like, probably right up to where this cotoneaster is, straight back. All of that will be bed that we'll be able to kind of like look through and enjoy the orchard. I don't want to create a solid wall, because there's nothing back here except trees, and that's beautiful. But I do want like little peekaboo windows. Like I like this little peekaboo window that's right here, and that's what I do want throughout this. So not a solid hedge here, just like a nice airy hedge, and then have basically from here all the way over to the driveway, which is, let me go on the wide lens. It's huge. It's a ton of space. Also, the sunsets here, you guys, so magical. We get pink skies almost every single night. It's been amazing. But this is all going to be a vegetable garden. We do have like a slope that happens here, and then it levels out. So I do think what I want to do is like line this entire side with some type of like formal-ish hedge, and then I want raised beds here. Nothing but raised beds here for the vegetable garden. Maybe a couple patches that are not like super raised, for like things like corn, but very defined beds is what I want for this area. So these black walnuts will be coming out. The bathtub, I'm sorry, it's going. She's gone. She can't stay here. The burn pile, we'll get rid of that. That oak tree is going to stay. That oak tree is going to go. I don't need like oak trees that close together. And then eventually we will redo this entire fence. But it does feel very nice to like start getting things planted. And I'm just going to keep trucking along this line, I think is what I'm going to do. Is I'm just going to deck this out with everything that I've got, because why not? And this is the section that we see every single day when we come in. We drive through the driveway, and then we see that. We see this. That's a better view. So I do want to get this like buttoned up and cleaned up and just like looking somewhat decent. I think we deserve a decent looking area. One decent looking area. So I think this is where we say goodbye. That was productive. I got some flooring up. I got the nails out. I got some plants planted. I'm going to go eat pizza. I hope that you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for visiting our garden. It feels so crazy to say that. We'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.